Just killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system. Since move back left, you don't want to change from the 4-3.
What's going on, people? Back again, the J James Show. The regulars are back. It's the Tactical Board Show. What's going on, people? How you guys doing?
All good. Mane, Salah, Firmino in the building. What's everyone saying?
I quit when you're saying that, yeah? Who's Mane, who's Salah, who's Firmino?
Are you fast or slow? Who's fast here?
Short distance or long distance? I'm 6'4".
You're 6'4". All right, well, I'm only. I didn't want to say, but I'm only 5'10". So the reality is, I'm like, I'll be Firmino. I'm good with that. But I'm black like Mane, so I'm kind of torn between the two. So I don't really know.
You know what? We might as well do the thing, innit? What? Your Salah rooms, yeah.
I'll take that.
You take it.
Especially all the records I just heard.
I trust my technique. Huh?
Especially all the records. I was big up G. Make sure you don't go and watch his live. Brother, I didn't even know some of the records. Not gonna lie, but you're just reading them off.
What
Salah's
records are dumb. I don't think you even understand. I didn't know.
Like, bro, I knew they were silly, but I didn't know he broke that much. Like, I thought it was about 7 main ones, but you got to about what 8 or 9. You could have went more.
There was more I could have named, and they were Premier League records. I didn't even want to get into that because I said that's just long. I'll be here all day.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let me just run through the comments quickly before we get started, because obviously we've got we're going to be talking about the main man on this edition, obviously on the tactics board. The truth, like Roms likes to call him, innit? I'm not hashtag number 28, Fabio Carvalho. So, yeah, man. Let me shout out. Let me see who's in the chat. Just wait for a couple of people to hop in. Jamie Phillips saying, big up, fella. Keep smashing it. Big up, Jamie. Big up, man.
Big up, Jamie.
On that as well. Ilyas saying, here we go.
Yes.
What's going on, Ilyas, man? Regular. Yeah, man. All right, we might as well get started then. We might as well get started. So, it's finally happened. We knew about this, obviously, in April. That was more or less, a done deal with Fulham. And now we're seeing, obviously, he's in the shirt now. I think it was a bit delayed because of the whole Salah situation. And, he could have been, on Friday, it could have been him, obviously, being revealed. But we had to wait till this Monday. Now, how are you guys feeling about that? Happy about the signing? I know how Roms is feeling, so I just want you to spew your truth. How are you feeling?
I'm over
Spew your truth, Roms.
I'm over the moon. I said this back in February or March, even when we were just interested in him. This is going to be a player at which the majority of our fan base, once he hits the ground running and he's doing exceptional, are going to be like, oh my God, I didn't expect him to be this good. I'm just going to be sitting back in my armchair, sipping my drinks. I knew this. When you know a player is going to do well before they even do well. I'm gassed about this signing, man. I think it's exactly what we need. He doesn't really feel pressure, and I know that's some people might be watching this like, oh, but he's only been at Fulham. What do you mean? But sometimes you can just tell. Like, I'll give you an example. Yeah, when Luis Suarez come from Ajax, you remember just that first 2 minutes again in that Stoke game, you just knew this guy's a player.
Yeah.
But Carvalho's just going to do that little thing in his first 2-3 minutes of us seeing him, probably against his. Because I'm starting to think, would Klopp even bring him on in that game? That he has to be careful of that early morning kickoffs against his old team. But I think he might have a cameo, and he's just going to do something. And when you just know, yeah, we got a player. But I've been flying his flag for the longest. I just can't wait. I honestly can't wait, because if he had been 5-6 years older with more experience, I wouldn't be screaming for another midfielder, But it's only because of his age I'm saying we probably need another one. But he is the truth, and he's going to become a star. And this is a player where us three, we all sing off the same hymn sheet. We have to win things, because that's when you'll get the big boys coming in from years to come. That's how high I rate this guy. His ceiling, that sky's his limit. Like, he can be how good he wants to be, put it like that.
Yeah, what are you saying? What are you saying, G? I know you obviously done your analysis on him and stuff as well. Obviously on your TikTok, on your Insta. So how are you feeling about obviously the Carvalho side?
To be honest, I won't say that I had been following for too long. Only really last season would I say I genuinely followed him. And for what I saw, I said, yeah, this guy, he's a decent little player, but he seems like someone who put him around better players. He'll show his real quality kind of thing. Like when you're around a certain level of player, there's only so much you can show people to how good you actually are. And so far, I think I started to watch highlights, and I never will usually sit there with signings and say, you know what, let me sit there, watch him. I'm talking them highlights where the game is just focusing on him kind of thing. I'm looking at those games, the stats obviously that we see, and I was like, okay, this guy's looking like he's an interesting player. I'm more excited, and don't no one kill me. I'm more excited to see him than I am Darwin Núñez. But don't no one kill me. I'm not saying Núñez is going to be dead or anything, but there you go. He knows. He knows. He knows.
Oh,
more happy
really?
about Fabio than Núñez. I'm telling you, like he looks like he's exciting, and he's not even as big as Núñez. Imagine that.
Yeah, I knew you loved him, G. Sorry to cut you, Jerry. No, I knew G loved him. When we first followed each other on Twitter, I see Fabio in your header. I don't know if he's still your header, but I was like, G's my guy. Yeah, G's my guy. We just need him in a Liverpool shirt doing that. You know what I mean?
That celebration needs to come out. Yo, Carvalho, I need all of that.
Yeah.
So, but why is that? Is it because you're not rating Núñez, or you rate Carvalho higher, or is it because Núñez is something different?
I think
that's quite interesting too, because
that's a good question.
It's a signing where 80 mil splash down, boom, there you go.
I'll let G go first, but I'll tell you why I'm more excited.
I think it's obviously Núñez is coming in with such a big price tag that I'm not looking at him to say, oh, excited. I'm looking at him like, yo, you better just come and bang straight away, because if you don't come and bang straight away, then we're going to be in problems. Carvalho's coming with no pressure, but he is a good player. I even feel like maybe not to the same degree as a Núñez, but genuinely, I believe this Carvalho kid is a very special type of talent. The way I've seen him play and move, I'm like, you just seem exciting. You seem like Coutinho to me, and Coutinho was super exciting when he came in. Even as a YG when he came in, playing with Suso. Remember Coutinho playing with Suso, a young Sterling, a youngish Suarez, but he was coming in super mature. And that's how I look at Carvalho, is he's just got something about him.
Yeah, man. So moving on to that, obviously talking about Carvalho, the first question, obviously, or the topic that we're going to obviously discuss is, how big of a role will Carvalho play next season? Now, for me, when I look at it, and it's just echoing what you said at the beginning, Rons, I feel like we still need another midfielder. And I'm not sure whether Klopp trusts young players enough, especially in the midfield, to just come in and go and play a regular role, like a starting role. So I don't know how it is, but how do you guys feel about? Do you know what I mean, Carvalho coming in? Is he going to start? Is he on the bench? Like what? How? At the end of the season, how are we looking at his impact? Is he just a rotation player off the bench? Is he doing a Rodrigo at Real Madrid, or is he doing a Vinicius at Real Madrid? Where he's playing? Do you know what I mean, because they're similar age, they're similar profile type of player. So
just to answer your last question quickly, the reason why I'm more excited for him than Núñez quickly is because I've seen him domestically. People might say, yeah, but it was the Championship, but I've seen a cameo in the Prem. And Champions League and Prem, there's not much difference in intensity. So that's why I'm more excited for Carvalho. And he's the younger player. But back to the question you just asked, I've been saying this. Up until Christmas, he'll be rotation impact player. I'm telling you, after Christmas, when Klopp actually think this guy's actually be ready consistently for the big stage. And let's be real, Thiago gets that annual injury. God forbid he gets it, but we expecting it. He gets that annual injury. Fabinho, what I've started to realize you two as well, Fabinho's not as fit as we think he is as well. He gets that one injury a year as well.
He does.
A lot of, if you actually deep it, I don't want to go off topic, but a lot of our midfield aren't really, bar Jones. Most of our midfield's quite injury prone, even Hendo. But anyway, back yeah, I can big up Dimo, because me and Dimo went back and forth a couple of months ago. Dimo think he won't have that much of a role. I'm telling Dimo, look, we'll just have to be patient. But I feel, to answer your question, Jerry, so I keep diverting, I feel like up until Christmas, New Year, he'll be an impact rotation player. He'll start the cup games, depending how far we go. But I reckon by late Jan, February, he will be a consistent starter. This is how much I rate him. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll come out and say, look, guys, I was wrong. But this is how much I rate this guy. And even this game, I didn't watch it live, but even from the highlights, and I know YouTube will make a play look good, but even when you saw him against a City team, it wasn't their strongest team, but there was still, I think, 4 or 5 men out there starting 11, start that game. He, from start to finish, he was amazing that game. Got the goal. He was causing problems. I just feel, but I reckon by the end of the season, Jerry, a lot of our fans say, he's good enough to start on our team. He's a star.
Cool. What are you saying, G? What are you saying, G, about that, man? Because for me, and I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm looking at Fabio Carvalho, and on the face of it, no one else was really interested in him. We're the ones that snapped him up really quickly. He's only had 1 full season in the Championship, very similar to Elliot, and we saw what happened with Elliot towards the back end of the season. Obviously, injury, albeit, but he came in, he had that performance against Inter Milan, and then once the season started hotting up, he didn't see the light of day. So how are you feeling?
Well, firstly, thank you for being a Debbie Downer. But to be honest, you're spitting facts regardless, to be honest. Like, we don't know, and we can only base off of what we perceive to be potential in this player. You're right. He's only had that 1 season in the Championship, but I just feel like his performances in the Championship were very, very mature. And that's what I take from the games. A bit like, and I didn't want to bring his name up, but a bit like Jude Bellingham. When you watch these players play, I know, and I didn't want to go into it, but just quickly, when you watch players like him, Jude Bellingham makes mistakes. Don't get twisted. I've seen him make some dumb mistake, give the ball away, mistime a tackle, pass when he should have shot when he should have, like silly little things like that. But the way he plays is so mature that you don't even notice. You actually have to remind yourself, shit, he's 19. Oh, snap, he's 20 or whatever, or however old Carvalho is, kind of thing. So I think with time, give him time to integrate into the squad properly. As Rom said, I think he will be rotation for a little while because Klopp does seem to rotate-ish. I mean, we was rotating our centre-backs at one point, which I never thought we'd ever do, with the team. So when we're doing that, I think going into the season, up until Christmas, rotation. After Christmas, if he's in form, especially with the World Cup as well, I don't know when we come back. I don't know what like when that is, but when we come back, I think he will actually start games, especially FA Cup games and all that kind of stuff. He'll be there. He'll be in and about. It's about him taking his transfer, man.
Okay, so in regards to kind of positioning in the squad, essentially what you guys are both echoing is that towards the end of the season, he's going to be a first-team starter or at least a regular in the rotation. So maybe the first man to come off the bench to impact the game.
He's ahead of Jones and Elliott. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah. That's
Demo won't be happy this week.
He's ahead of both of them, yeah?
By the end of the season, he's third in our pecking order behind Thiago Fabinho, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how high I rate it. Jerry, I'm not even one to pick up young players like that, but when you've seen enough, like you don't have to prove to anyone. When you for yourself with your eyes have seen enough, that's how high I rate him.
And in the midfield as well. So not out wide, not playing as that. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about in that. Obviously, I'm going to move on to formations next. But in the 4-3-3, you're telling me he's going to be third after Fab and
we know what Klopp can. Let me not say can do to a man in that midfield three, but I still think he will be in that midfield three coming into the season. And just to answer your question as well, to add a bit more detail as well, I do feel, how you said come in the season, where do we think his place will be and whatnot? I think he'll be a regular start after about Christmas, New Year, but that's another thing. I think for this whole season, he'll probably be deployed in our front line. Maybe the last couple months in the midfield, but I think predominantly he'll be in our front line.
Okay. Interesting. Before we move on to obviously what I want to talk about next, which is obviously formation now with this player. I'm just I'm gonna check what people are saying obviously in the comments. So Demo, what's going on, Demo?
Demo.
Phil Banders always, how's it going, guys? We're good, man. We're good. I can't speak for G and Roms, but I'm good, man.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm 80s, bro.
Demo saying Roms is proper gassed about Carvalho, you know. Yeah,
You know, me and Demo been going back and forth for months. That's my brother, though. Big up Demo, man.
Big up, man. He's saying, I've watched him obviously because of Harry Wilson, and trust me, he's a player. But I'm giving him a season before he gets in the team fully. Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Fair. Especially with Klopp, you don't just chuck anyone in it. And especially if you're not an established kind of, 26, 27 year old.
You know what? This comment is spot on because I feel like because they had already won the championship, but I watched Fulham, especially when I knew we agreed the deal or we were linked. I watched their last 3 or 4 games and Carvalho weren't impactful at all. I'll be honest, and I agree with Demo with that. But I don't know, it's because there wasn't no incentive anymore. They had won, maybe he was just, I don't know, and the move to Liverpool and their objective was fulfilled. I don't know, but
maybe
he was right. Games do pass him by sometimes, especially towards the back end.
Yeah, I guess as we're saying, obviously playing in the midfield for Liverpool, you're gonna have that fire under your belly because it's a massive opportunity. So, and he's not. I don't feel he's gonna go straight into the team. So those chances are gonna come few and far between, which means you're gonna get a raw and hungry type of player as opposed to a player that's just complacent. So big up John Moore as always. John Moore's in the building. Big up. Jack McIndoe saying, I had a stream with Jamie Phillips on Saturday, I believe. Yeah, it was Saturday. And I was on a stream with Jack. Amazing guy. Check out his channel, man. He's serious. He knows his stuff.
Big up Jack.
I've seen him on a few channels. Big up Jack, man. Knows his stuff. Very knowledgeable.
Yeah, real scouser. And Jack saying, big up, gents. Hope you're all well. I cannot wait to see Fabio play. Interesting to see where he's playing in our system. If we play a 3 in midfield, exactly, just echoing what we're saying, because that's the tricky one for me. I think in general, I mean, look, let me just make sure that we haven't missed anything here, just quickly. But Cheeto saying, I trust Fabio because the transfer committee deemed him good enough. And the scouting has been on point. 100%. No, I trust Fabio. I don't think he's a bad player. I'm not upset with the signing. I'm just saying, is he?
I mean, Minamino, Shaqiri, let's not act like we've had full hits upon hits. Yeah, I mean, we've had some misses.
Flipped up for this, man.
But Shaq, there's context with, man. Shaq was
we're not doing context. We're not doing context. We're not doing context.
G's the worst. Do you know why G's the worst? Listen to this. I'm chilling in my bed on a Friday night, and G's like, I've just tagged you in a little, do you know what I mean? A thread on Twitter. See what these men are saying? He trapped me. He threw me into a wormhole with brothers. Coming for me.
With the top reds.
Yeah, the top reds. It was horrible. It was
like a 2-day affair.
You couldn't make any statement. You couldn't say, I'm happy with the transfers. If you had a but in there, if you had anything opposed to the top reds agenda, you were finished.
Even
I had to delve out of it. Is this the same thread or is this another thread?
It's the same thread I tagged you.
I've been arguing with them, but I come to a point. I stopped arguing with them about 2-3 weeks ago. They just don't get. They don't get it, so I just stopped. But I hear you. You want to get it. You want to get across to them, and I hear that. But I don't have the energy for it anymore.
You know what it is, and even just to quickly even touch upon that point, is one of the main things that I took away from that conversation. It wasn't even necessarily that they just weren't even getting it. My issue really and truly with trolls and any top red, whatever you want to call them, my issue is that if you listen to the words being said, you will see that we are all on the same page. And it's something that I mentioned to them is that we're all actually on the same page. Us three sitting here, we'll sit here and critique the club. I will critique the club until it's dark outside, 100%. But guess what? I'm the same.
People get confused. They get offended when we're critiquing the club, but we're doing it out of love. I don't get where people don't see that.
Exactly.
We're just critiquing the club because we want to.
We want to. Do you think I want to be sitting here talking about the club in a bad light?
That's what I'm saying. With these top reds, I'm not going to lie. After that experience, you could go. Listen, Klopp could go and tell them now. Yeah, you know what? We're going to change the name of Liverpool to Liver Red or something. Or do you know what I mean? And they just go along with it. For them, Klopp is God. Klopp's word is Klopp's word. You can't make any mistakes. FSG are. Do you know what I mean? No one's got any blame in it. The only people that have blame are City. And there was another tweet that I just saw, and it was just hidden in that thread as well, where they tried to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, and I could get clipped up, but they tried to say De Bruyne is like Henderson's better than De Bruyne technically.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
Henderson's better than De
See how
Bruyne.
you're laughing? Listen, they tried to put an argument together, a structured argument as to why he's better, talking about the amount of trophies he won, the fact that he captained the side. Apparently, he's more clutch and he plays better in bigger games. Like, I couldn't believe what I said.
I saw De Bruyne has a brother though.
Huh?
I saw De Bruyne's got a brother though. Maybe he's talking about my man. Maybe.
Because I was deep. Yeah, there's no team I hate. I don't hate anything in life apart from United. Then after United, Chelsea. But I've got a growing hate for City. I'm starting to despise them because they're our rivals. However, you can't make comments like that. Sometimes you just have to admit, you know what I mean?
Got to be real. You can't lie. Yeah. Do you know what happens? Because I know I'm moving off topic. Everyone in the chat,
man.
But when I'm having my argument now, and I'm trying to tell people, you know what? No, Virgil's the best centre back of all time, you know. And I'm trying to put forward an argument. Man, the rest of the league aren't trying to hear what I'm saying because it's like I'm crying wolf. Because they've heard Liverpool fans say, oh, you know what? Nah, Henderson's the best midfielder in the league. He's top 2 midfielders in the league.
We all got painted with that same brush.
They try to say Minamino's, do you know what I mean? The 5th best, do you know what I mean? Attacker in the league and that type of stuff. And it kills us. It kills us.
Crazy, because even me and G had that debate about VVD. I said ability-wise, he's the best in the Prem. But overall, he needs at least another 2 Prems to chat to the Terrys, the Rios. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You need at least, not even another one, not even 2 does enough. Them man are sitting on 5 and 6. Do you know what I mean? He needs at least another 2.
100%. Let me run through before we move on. Sorry, guys, for obviously moving on, but I had to pull G up on that one because he fed me to the wolves. I
came out with the chinchillas on, though. We came out with the chinchillas on.
The back. It was peak. It was bad, man. Couldn't
listen,
do it.
Man.
Yeah,
we came out of the jungle with the chinchillas and the monkey skin on, man. Trust me, we were good.
No, we're good, man. We're good. Let's go and see. Phil saying that's a big shout, Roms. You know, too early to say that about Fabio.
You know what, Phil? Big up yourself because probably the first time you hear me speak about Carvalho, but these two will tell you that I've been saying this since about January, February, bro. Like I'm a big advocate for him. I could be wrong. Listen, if I'm wrong and he has an underwhelming season, I'll be the first on his channel to say I'll hold my hands up. But
listen, if he has an underwhelming season,
I need to
listen. No. If he hasn't, listen. If he's look, he's not. Like I'm putting this out there. I think he's going to be good. Like this is my opinion, but I'm trying to be neutral. But if he's dead, I'm not gonna lie. This is me talking to you about Carvalho.
Would have been able to eat.
Wait, that's more like me trying to explain myself about.
But I was in the video looking at you. Watch it again.
That video, I think I see you put up before that video.
Look at my face as I took. Listen.
Would have been able to eat.
You know you should get another one, yeah? Have you heard Yaya Toure trying to explain himself?
Yeah. I'm going to get that.
At the end of the season, I'm trying to explain why Carvalho had a bad, underwhelming season.
Shout out Marlon, man, because he's going to kill me for that. But boy.
Big up Marlon, man. Big up Marlon,
man. Yeah, man. So, you know what? Here, I've just gone and seen, because we might as well, we know is making a statement, so we might as well just segue into it. He's saying Klopp has to revert to Coutinho tactics with Carvalho. With our more solid defense, we can cope with being adventurous. So we might as well go into it because we know it's a lovely segue.
We know drops gems every stream.
Yeah, we know that guy.
We know, man. Big up because that is exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, we know's that guy, 100%. Big up, we know. But the question that we've got now, obviously, is does the Carvalho signing represent a change in formation, a change in system for Liverpool in the next season? Are we moving away from how we were previously, or is it just the same old? And I know we had the same obviously questions when Nunes signed, but the question I've got is with Carvalho, does that kind of reinforce a difference for next season? I'll start with G. G, run with it. Why not?
Yeah, it should do. Like until Wino just said that there, maybe I forgot, but now I've just remembered. Do you remember those 6 months with Coutinho, Firmino, Salah, bro? With that team was done.
We were putting 6, 7, 8 past teams.
Easy.
Every other game as well.
And we didn't even have the defense that we've got today. Like we didn't even have that where your Alisson, Van Dijk, Robbo, Trent, all in this level of form. We could easily go. We've said this before on the other streams. Like we need to go back to that if we're going to try and utilize like Darwin Núñez in his best position, and try and utilize Carvalho in his best. Carvalho is Coutinho. I told you. That's why I'm so excited to see. He is Coutinho reincarnated, just younger. By the way, I don't know if he's going to be as good as Coutinho before anybody clips this and starts chatting. I don't know, but I see elements in his game that reminds me of what Coutinho did whilst he was here under Klopp. And in those 6 months, he was good, man. He was literally the best player we had at the time. He was better than Salah and all of them. He was literally the best.
No, he was. Quick one, though. Obviously, I have to play neutral with this one because obviously we're all happy for Carvalho. But I'm going to try, create some beef. We only played, for me anyway, and I don't know what the chat thinks, I don't know what you guys think, but when we had Salah, Firmino, Coutinho and Mane as our front four, we were very much a counter-attacking team, which meant there was a lot of space in transition. There was a lot of space in transition. Man, you got the best out of Salah, Mane, Firmino dropping in, Coutinho, him linking up, Coutinho, do you know what I mean, coming on the left, and then Mane moving more central, and it meant everything was really, really free-flowing. But we were really, if you think about the goals that we scored, a lot of them were in transition. We're so fast. We had two, in Bobby and Coutinho had two players that could find a pass, pick out a pass, could create something out of nothing, which really works when you're playing on a counter-attack. As time's gone on, though, Liverpool have changed the way we play. Mm-hmm. Now we're very much so that we're trying to be a possession-based team. We might not do it to the best, to the best of our abilities or to the best kind of way possible. If you, a la Man City, a la, Barca back in the day or whatever. But we are a possession-based team. We try to draw players out and break down low blocks. And a lot of the time, we are facing low blocks now. We faced it even with, against City. We faced them against Chelsea. We faced them against Tottenham. And that's some of the top four teams, let alone, obviously, the lower league teams, obviously, the teams lower down the league. So does that work? Does that formation with having that type of number 10, marauding number 10, where you can really just sit back and tell your defenders to stay back and allow the front four to play, does that work? Because to play a possession-based team, you need to push the team further forward, which means the spaces you're in are more congested. So your likes of Robbo, your Trent, they're further forward up the pitch. It means the width is now, is at the equation. So how does that work?
I'll let Rums take this one. I want to hear what he says.
You know what, like the big away games against the Etihad, the Stamford Bridge, you have to even chuck in Tottenham now. That's not gonna run. That's just not gonna run, because I think there'll be especially with City, the game will be more it depends actually, because a game of City, the game could be more end to end due to both teams just going at it. No one's really gonna play conservative. No one's gonna sit back and wait for the other team to come onto us. But against the bottom half of the table, Jerry, you're spot on. I don't think that's gonna run, and that probably suits Carvalho more than us being a possession-based team. Because I think he's someone that excels when he's running with the ball.
Got space. Yeah. That's what I'm going to say. From what I've seen from Carvalho, and I'm not going to lie here and see ourselves every game, when I've seen the highlights, a lot of the goals is when Fulham were in transition. Ball's coming in, he's got in the box, he's arrived late. He's made that third run in midfield, he's got the ball and he's a bit tricky. But I haven't seen a Gavi-esque, where teams are sitting back and they've got the ball and they're popping it around and it's really slow and you just pick the pass out of nowhere and it's, to go like a Pedri or a Gavi. That's why I'm putting it out there. Does that work? Does our system work? Is that why a Carvalho is going to be maybe playing as a winger as opposed to a midfielder because of the way we're playing? That's what I wanted to ask you guys. I had to think about that today.
I think you're actually spot on there. I feel against. That's only it's actually mad, and this might be a mad statement to even say. I think you'll probably see the best of Carvalho against the bigger teams instead of maybe the lesser teams if he plays in that midfield three. Because, like you say, one of his biggest strengths is running with the ball. His dribbling is exceptional. So if we're against a team that is just literally, which the majority of teams will sit back against us, I don't think we're going to get the best out of him in that midfield three. It's actually going to be very interesting to see what Klopp does with that. But the 4-2-3-1, I think it just caters to our two new in Carvalho and Nunes. I think the 4-2-3-1 against the lower the bottom half teams. That's when you can see You'll see the best of Carvalho in the three against the bigger teams, where it's more end to end, like you said, in transition. But against the smaller teams, you'll see the best if he's playing that lone 10 and he's got Fab and Fabinho behind him. So to answer your question, he'll excel in that middle three for me in the bigger games, not the smaller games.
No, I agree. I agree with Rums, because I think we got to remember as well. We've seen it with Curtis Jones. We've seen it with Elliott. At times they lack discipline. You see Liverpool's midfield. That's like a rat race in there. Sometimes it could be crazy. It's all like. It gets a bit much sometimes, like in that middle of the pitch. If you're new to it, you could get found out real quick. And we've seen it with Elliott, San Siro. Like, I saw it and it just looked like, yo, you can't. It looks like you can't hack it when we know you probably could, but it can just escape you sometimes. And Rums alluded to that earlier when he said I think someone put it in the comments as well, he can sometimes just go drifting in games. In Liverpool's midfield, it's as a myth if you go drifting, bro. You cannot drift. There's no passers-by in that midfield. Like, even the ones that we don't even rate too much, they're not passers-by. It's just more about their own ability and what they can do. So I think exactly that, what Rom said, man. Against the big teams, he might flourish. Against the smaller teams, that's where we need to be playing him in that 10. He needs to have that free role behind the striker where he can just do his thing, do his magic, man.
Yeah. I'm going to say something, but I think it's a bit... If we started to play with a number 10, I think it'd be really unfair on the players that have been in that position previous. And I know some of them are not here, such as your Shaqs, your Minaminos, even your Curtis Joneses that are here and your Elliots. They never got a run as a number 10 in our team, ever.
You're right. You're actually right.
When Shaq got the runs in number 10, that's when we saw the best of him.
The only way I'm going to rebuttal that, though, we were winning things then, so you didn't really. You're not going to fix what's not broken. That workman-like industrial midfield three, you didn't have to change it now because we're falling short. We have to evolve. So I hear you. It is going to be unfair on that, but we can't really look back at that, Jerry. We have to just look forward.
But we're winning things, yeah. But just to stop you there, we're winning things. What things have we won?
I knew that question was
only last season.
I mean then.
But when then?
Cool. If you're speaking about the Shaqs and the Ronaldos, that we win. I can't say multiple, but we won the two biggest honours.
No, we did. But Shaq wasn't only in our club for one season, though. And we didn't win every... That's what I'm trying to say.
He got deployed on the out wide.
Yeah, out wide. He's always... That's what I'm saying. Even when he went and played, he played out wide. It's the same as Origi. Origi, like, I feel a bit sorry. Like, Origi's the same type of player. I feel a bit sorry because if we start playing with just that type of number 9, what was Origi doing this whole time?
Yeah.
He was playing out left. He was playing on the right. When he played down the centre, it was only against teams like Preston in the 3rd round.
If I speak, boy, there ends up being trouble because everything you're saying, we said it. People think we're cussing the club. We're not cussing. You're seeing it. What the hell was Origi doing here for the last 5 years? Why did we buy Shaq? Why did we buy Minamino? Why did we even keep Lallana here? All of these players can play in that. Well, apart from Origi, them players can play in a 10. So why didn't you use them in a 10? But because we got Carvalho, and this goes back to what me and you spoke about, Jerry, in the first tactics board when I was talking to you about Klopp's not changing tactics, bro. We're gonna see 4-3-3 to the day he goes. We're not gonna see a change because he doesn't feel like he needs to change that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
The only bit of hope I cling on to is his Dortmund days when he had Blaszczykowski and the Goethe and the Piszczek and Lewandowski up top. Like when he had that.
Yo.
Hey,
And
that was more than
November
10 years ago, you know.
I know.
Real talk.
I'm just hoping.
Sight.
Bro, I'm just hoping something kicks out. Let me go back to the Don days, to the Dortmund days, but I'm back-to-back league. It's more hope. It's more hope than
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? But it can. We've seen it, and like you even alluded to, the 6 months with Coutinho in the team. It's not like we have. If we hadn't seen him play with a 10 before, I hear it, but we have, and I just hope the penny drops. I'm not even saying to do it every game, you know. Some games I don't mind the 4-3-3. I don't know about you. I don't want to see 4-2-3 on every game.
Variation more than anything.
But exactly. But I'm hoping we do see it here and there. You know, I do.
Okay. But do you believe we will see it?
No. But we've alluded to this. No, I don't.
This is the problem. We can all sit here, and I know obviously this is what the show is about. But, you know, we're here to be real at the end of the day. We can sit here and do another 20 episodes of Tactics Board about formation, this, that, and the other. The reality is we all know Klopp's way of playing, way of thinking, way of doing things, way of all of that. So the reality is we might even need to check ourselves and say, maybe we just got to try to figure out how these players can just fit into that system instead. But we all know the quality of the player. Roms already knows about Carvalho. He's watching probably more than me and Jerry put together. So he knows probably a bit more about Carvalho. So he knows probably his best strengths, etc., etc. You know what he can do in that 10 position. If you know, and you're not a scout to my knowledge, Klopp should know this.
But gee, do you know what's very, again, we love Klopp, but do you know what's very naive of him as well? This shows mainly on Carvalho. But he needs to understand 4-2-3-1. It doesn't even just cater for Carvalho. It caters for the other two good players in Jones and Elliott. It's not even just benefiting one guy. It's benefiting three.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. And it's like, with a Jones, and I've said it before, to break through as a midfielder, you in a Liverpool team that are winning and dominating, you have to be supremely good. Like, I have no doubts. If that was Jones coming through at Fulham, he would have been playing. He would have been playing at Fulham. Easy. He'd probably be there now. He'd probably be first name on the team sheet. Fulham's the type of club that will probably give him the captaincy armband after a couple seasons. Just to go and keep it. He's got that type of personality. But I don't know. I think Carvalho will be good. But I don't know. There's nothing that suggests to me that he's going to be better than Jones or Elliott. The only thing that I see is that he's played more, but Elliott had the season in the Championship also,
and you could argue his numbers were better than Carvalho in a lesser team.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into we got the stats. You know what I mean? Shout out Jack from Anfield Analytics, but we've got.
Shout out Jack. Yeah,
got Jack,
so we've got the stats. We got the PDF there.
Because I've done my research. I know already. Elliott's. We'll get into that. I know Elliott's numbers were better still. I know they were better, but.
So to me, it's like, is he better? And that's why it goes back to my question, like the first one. What impact does he have on the team?
Cool.
Because
and this is why I say
you're comparing two different players in two different systems in two different scenarios. We're not comparing. It's not like we're comparing Saka and Foden that play week in, week out. You can compare them because they're playing for their respective clubs week in, week out, and of course, one team's better than the other, but it's very easy to look at the individual kind of impact on a team, whether they're winning or losing. With a Jones, that sample size is too small for me to be like, yeah, well, Fabio's better. Fabio played more, I guess he's played more. But Elliott played a whole season at Blackburn.
You know what? You know what's crazy about this? There's pros and cons because I'm going to be honest with you, there is no proof that Carvalho is better than the other two. This is just preference and my opinion. And it's crazy. If anything, you could say the other two are probably better than Carvalho because we've seen them in our system and we've seen them have good games. I see exactly where you're coming. This is why it's a conflict of interest. This is why I say, when you're even, because that's one thing that's going to happen this season. It's happened already. them three are all going to get compared to one another.
Oh,
We know
100%,
that already.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
happened already. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they're all similar. Actually, Jones about 2-3 years ahead of, but Carvalho and Elliott, they're good friends as well. Both,
Yeah, they're boys.
Same
Yeah,
age,
I
isn't it?
think they're both actually the same age.
Yeah, I
with
think
Jones
they played in
being-
the academy. They played in the academy and in the same team. So
Exactly. So to answer your question, Jerry, there is no evidence to say Fabio is better than other two. That's just my opinion, but it's crazy. And like you said, it goes back to so cool. What is his impact then if he's not better than other two? Because we've seen the other two play.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one. And this is why the only answer to your question is patience.
yeah, real talk. Real talk.
You have to wait and
Exactly.
see.
you sounded
I
like
think,
Pep
you know-
Linders there, you know. You look as you said it. I heard a Dutch accent, and you look like Pep Linders, the black version of Pep Linders. It was crazy.
I think you see when you like. I guess when it comes to Carvalho, I reckon it comes down to like we've seen Jones and Elliott, and we're not fully convinced. Now we've got another player who's more or less on like the same ability. Where I almost feel like we're almost kind of hoping that he can do what those two can't do, because we've seen what those two can do. I'm not 100% convinced, and there's something in the back of my mind that tells me Klopp's going to play a midfield three of all three of them one day in a cup game. I don't know why. And Jones will be the deepest one, and he'll have Elliott and Carvalho as the two kind of central attacking players in a team one day against
You
cup
actually
game.
think that?
Bro, I've seen Jones play deep. I've seen Jones play deep.
Can't lie. We would have
You've
to
seen
be
it.
playing a non-league team or a League Two. Anything League One and above, we're getting.
Yeah,
You can't play them
You
free.
say that. You say that. But he will just have to change the role of that DM, i.e. Fabinho is a ball-winning midfield. If this was FM, Fabinho would be like a ball-winning midfielder with support like attached to his thing. Whereas I would just literally make Jones in that situation either a deep line playmaker, or you'd have to make him like a register, that type of player kind of thing.
Do you think that midfield, that trio that you've just said of Jones, and I had to of
Well,
Jones,
you need to make
Elliott,
that
and Carvalho,
XG. I can't lie, bro. I love it. I can't see
they can
that.
press and win the ball back.
Okay, hold on,
Fabinho,
okay.
Milner,
Jerry, that's the first thing that comes to my mind as well.
Okay. Hear me out.
No, of course.
I would rather
got the
that
legs.
midfield than Tottenham away, Tyler Morton, James Milner, and Naby Keita. I would rather that midfield because at least
Against
that
Tottenham.
midfield is a
If
lot
we're
more
play- if we're-
progressive.
No, wait. If we're playing Tottenham away, you're trying to tell me you'd rather have Jones, Carvalho, and Elliott as opposed to nah. I'm not gonna lie.
You
to you.
would. I promise you would. I promise.
Let me tell you why, yeah, because
Right.
we all love creativity. Us three like the same type of football. Let me tell you why I wouldn't want to see that free. That just screams to me creativity and just ill discipline when it comes to defensively. That's what that screams to me, and it lacks experience. I would, as much as that free is more flary and creative. Of course it is. But what you get in the Naby, I can't really say Naby team. We know you can. But what you get in the Naby and the Milner, you get that. You've got that industry. You've got that discipline. You've got that experience. Do you what you just said against a Tottenham away, bro?
No. I'm not saying against a Tottenham. I'm saying I used that midfield. I was just using that midfield that we used against Tottenham.
But if we were playing Tottenham away and you had to pick,
Remember then, G, you said you'd rather that.
Which one would you pick?
I would still rather. I'll be super honest with you. I genuinely believe I could see that midfield free easily, purely because I genuinely think that you could have Jones in that deep line playmaking role. You feel me? So I don't feel like you couldn't not have him there because he'd be a better option in that position than a Tyler Morton. Now you're just looking at Naby Keita and James Milner. Both are two experienced players. So, of course, they're two players who can potentially do a defensive job, but they're not two players who are going to be progressive when we do have the ball. So now we're just sitting here with nothing, if that really makes sense. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of sitting there in a position whereby it's just going to always be retain, but not really too defensive because Morton isn't of that kind of level. So I'd rather have Curtis Jones anyway than a Morton. Now we're just looking at what's his name? James Milner and Naby Keita. Again, if I'm being real, Naby Keita and Harvey Elliott, they're doing the same thing. Now you're just really looking at James Milner with Carvalho. You do lose the experience there, 100%. But I genuinely believe you would see that midfield three this season. Just remember I said it. And when you see it, come back to me. Just remember
I think I can speak for Jerry here. You know, as you're explaining that, I'm trying to understand. Like, I'm actually trying. In my head, I'm trying to picture it. And yeah, and as you're saying one thing, I'm like, yeah, but no, I'm trying to. But I can't.
It's fine.
You know why I can't see that, G? Yeah? And I love your... Because the thing is, what I love is that you validated your point. And I see where you're coming from. But for me, the first thing that just screams at me is experience and age. I just can't see them. I can see 2 out of the 3. Maybe.
So against Tottenham away, maybe not. That was going a bit too far. I'm talking more.
See, man, they'll be talking and they'll be thinking, yes.
No. Listen,
Tottenham. I'm talking Shrewsbury FA Cup game.
That's what I said. A non-league or a League 2 team, I can see that as well. I still think we'll concede, but I can see it because I just think them 3 should outshine. But I can't see them 3 together. I can see 2 of them with another midfielder, whether it be a Hendo or a Hendo. I can't see them 3 in this. I can't see it.
Let's see them 3 on the pitch.
You know what?
I'm going to give you. Are not in that middle by themselves.
I'll give you all the credit. If we see a team sheet of Elliot Jones and Carvalho and a different front 3, I will be giving you your thought. It's like, G called this in July.
I'm calling it now.
Sometime in the season. Make sure we remember this. Pin it.
Yeah. I won't forget.
Because if this happens, we need to give G his props. Because right now, he's moving crazy.
There's method to the madness, man. Like,
there's method to the madness.
I hate a man that comes out with him. I'm not going to say a mad comment, but maybe an outlandish take, and he can't back it up. You're asking, and he can't. You know what I mean? G backed it up.
This is how the midfield would start. If we played Tottenham, if we played Tottenham with that midfield, this is how the midfield would start off. This is how we
go down by half time.
No. The food gone. Hey, everyone's getting beats. I don't care who it is, but everyone's getting beats.
You know what's bad? You know what's bad about that, G, as well? The food was boiling hot, so
everyone's getting beats, bro. Everyone in the room, just for videoing it, you're getting beats. For you doing it, you're getting beats. Everyone's getting beats, bro.
Listen, the reason why I say that is that kid started off dancing all confident, and that's what would start. The midfield would be popping it about, and then all of a sudden, Højbjerg or Bissouma just crunches one of them.
They'll be licking their lips if they saw that.
And it's over. And then
hey, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? I like to see. I think
I'm actually happy you mentioned Tottenham because a bit of topic. That's going to be a very. Normally we get a draw or a win there. That's going to be a hard. I have that harder than going to the bridge this season. I think Tottenham and City away are going to be our 2 hardest fixtures.
But Tottenham away is usually pretty tricky.
Yeah. It's always tough because they're just the way they're set up. It's only against. To be fair, even this season, remember when Coutinho first signed?
No,
not Coutinho first signed. Sorry, when Salah first signed that season, because I was at Tottenham. I was at the Tottenham game for that game.
Yeah.
Remember
so
when
you scored a
4-1 loss?
Oh yes.
I was there.
When someone says Lovren, that's what I.
Oh, you were there.
Lovren, yeah. I was there. I was actually behind the goal with the Spurs fans because actually one of my colleagues was a Spurs fan. Literally, when the goals were going in, I remember one of the brothers was like, "Why are you celebrating, mate? Why are you singing with us?" And I was like, "Yeah." You know what I mean? and then Salah scored in our direction, innit, to make it like 3-1 or 4-1 or I think it was 4-1. To make it 4-1. And I remember just jumping up, and I look around, and them man were fuming. I didn't go to the game for ages. I said, "I'm not."
You know what's crazy about that, Jerry? Yeah, it's mad. Me and you had similar experience. I was at the 1-0 win, our first ever game at the new stadium. Firmino scored a worldie, just dragged it back. Mourinho Spurs, and whenever Spurs were on the break, because Lucas Moura was giving us problems that game. You know how you naturally rise? I wasn't rising, and the man said to me, "You're Liverpool." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I promise." He's like, "You are." You give me that look, that you're Liverpool. I'm like, no, I'm not. And when Firmino scored, right, I had to like snap the reaction. He's
Yeah.
like, you better fucking move away from me. I was like, no, I'm not. I promise you that. I'm just, it's for my, it's like for a project I'm doing. You know what I mean? I was just chatting rubbish, bro. He's like, you sure? And I was shook the rest of the game still because they were on it, but I was never rising. I'm sorry. And that's why I'm not going to games if I'm not with, even away games with Liverpool fans. You already know the tickets are a bit mad.
I can't lie. I'm a troublemaker. You see me? I'm sitting in the way end at Arsenal in the League Cup when we played them at the Emirates Stadium. I was sitting in the Arsenal end. When we scored, there was the first one I said, boop! And everyone just turned around. I said, yeah, we scored, so I'm going to celebrate. But obviously there's a level of respect that you're going to have. Obviously, you're in the away end. I'm not going to be a complete clown and start jumping around and doing anything mad. But listen, you're not going to tell me. My team is at a level now where unless it was Manchester City, don't chat to me. Don't do that kind of stuff now, because ultimately I'm not disrespecting you. I'm not doing anything wild. I'm not jumping in the air kind of thing, like shouting in your ear. Even when Arsenal were playing well as well, I was like, yo, like Arsenal are playing very, very well. I'm watching. I'm even rising when Martinelli's about to score kind of thing, because I'm just immersed in the whole game. So when I see a goal, I just have to kind of rise. But because it's my team, I kind of got carried away. But you ain't stopping me. Unless it's Everton away.
Not to go off topic too quick, I'm going to wrap this up, run up quick. I was at the Watford 5-0 game, yeah.
But you was there as well?
Say that again?
You was there as well?
Was you at the fan? Yeah, I was there. I was with the Watford fans, right? See, teams like Watford and Fulham, even Fulham trying to get tickets, but they have a family stand where it's mixed. They need to be careful with that. But grounds like that, I was celebrating, and it's crazy. As I rose, the guy in front of me, behind me, to the either side did. And all five of us are Liverpool fans, and because we're in numbers now, no one can really tell us anything. And to be fair, the Watford fans were quiet. They just knew they were bad at the time. I think it was it Hodgson's first game? I can't remember whose first game it was, but because they sacked a few managers. It was someone's first game. Whoever their manager, it was Ranieri's first game. Ranieri's first game. And they knew they were kind of bad. They were expecting us to batter them. And you know, all of them after said, fair play that you lot are in numbers with their family club. So pick up Watford, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you're not disrespectful, like I said, don't go jumping in and shaking a man, you know, that's disrespectful. I feel like that's going a bit too far. But if I raise, I make a bit of noise, I'm not killing anybody. It's Watford at the end of the day. Like, you're not one of them kind of teams. So, you know.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let me just run through some of the comments. I know that the chat is popping, so we need to make sure that we're obviously.
I feel like I'm getting killed in the chat. I don't know why.
Obviously, make sure, guys, when you're coming in, please smash that like button. I know that at one point it was like, do you know what I mean, 13, 14 people. Let's see how many likes we're on. If someone can let me know in the chat, that'd be great.
Smash them likes, people.
Cheeto saying this toxic fan base spewed non-stop vitriol on Taki, and look how that turned out.
Damn. That's some strong adjective, man.
Did you just say Taki? Debo's not having it, man. Debo's not having it. We know saying, thought there was news that after the move, his form was affected, which is understandable. Yeah, I think that's just relating back to Carvalho, isn't it? Saying that White, he might have dipped and stuff. So, yeah. Jack from Jack McIndoe TV saying, always welcome, lads, on my channel. One big family. Plenty shows planned this season and going to be another great season. 100%. I'm definitely going to try and get Jack on the channel as well. Hopefully making a print on his, man. So, guys, make sure anyone here, just follow over there. Give it a like. Do you know what I mean? Subscribe. Go check it out. Because definitely some good content over there. Cheetah saying, yeah, there's criticism and then there's toxicity. Yeah, man. You know, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, our fan base can be a bit toxic, man. Can be a bit toxic. Like, the amount of times I've heard about you Southerners, you this, you know what I mean, you troublemakers. You know what I mean? Me and G were getting it all on the weekend, man. And you are blaming, man. I went in there like a novice.
You know the one that always gets me when they're like, you've probably never even been to Anfield. And I'm like,
no. The question was that when did you go to your first game?
Yeah, I was gonna say 1963. Just to take the mix.
Crazy. You lot brought it up in the group chat. My first game was Mellor's magical goal. The 2-1.
Against Arsenal. Yeah.
Mellor's garbage, man. I don't like him. I don't know how he's still got a role in media. Sorry, man.
Him and Warnock, they're everywhere.
What I don't understand with just quickly on that point where you just said about like when is your first game?
Yeah.
Is there some like golden chalice or some like invisibility cloak or something that you gain from going through Liverpool gates to then show that you are like a real supporter, or is there a logbook that says every person who comes to a game is a real support? If so, I'll start going to games a lot more. If not, it doesn't matter. The guy who lives in Thailand who can't travel to games.
It's probably a bigger fan. We were speaking about it. I think it was on Saints channel, Roms. It was on Saints channel.
Yes.
I remember you guys were on Saints channel, and there's people on there that were from, I don't know,
with Hassan. Yeah, it was with Hassan.
And they've got to get up, and they've got to get up at 3 a.m. and do the UFC, do the graveyard shift to support Liverpool and watch Liverpool every game.
Do you know what I don't get you to, Because when we're being described with all the great superlatives, world-renowned club and all that, then it's mainly the Scousers that then they want to. It's when it fits them. It's when it suits them. It's when the narrative suits them. Yeah, we're this big club, all the supporters around the world. But then once you get in an argument with another Liverpool supporter in another country, you've never been to Anfield. That you can't just pick and choose when it suits your narrative. Do you know what I mean? Like Don Hassam, big up Hassam. He's probably one of the biggest Liverpool fans. To my understanding, he's never been to a game, but he loves the club and that. But he gets abuse every day. But in his DMs, the same fan said, "You know what? We're wrong about you. You just love the club." But he's probably one of the most honest. But yeah.
Exactly, man. Jamrock as well. I big up Jamrock, big up 1975 Jamrock. He's saying, obviously, I don't run from smoke, I inhale it and run into it.
Yes, Jamrock.
Red bully you into it in opinion. Fact.
1975 Jamrock is real, and every Liverpool I see him in the comments, he speaks from his man and his heart, man. Big up Jamrock. By the way, it's not all Scouts, by the way. I've been Anfield many times, and they love us. They love us.
Yeah, they do. They fully do.
It's a minority. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, for real. I didn't want that to be the main headline of what the conversation me and Jerry were having with that guy. I've been to Anfield a good couple of times, and I get love when I go down there. There's no issue whatsoever. So it's just the minority, right?
Yeah. Jack saying, I just log out of Twitter and me. Everyone has a voice. Everyone's views have the same weight. No fan is bigger than the other. That's why I created my channel, debates and different.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
Exactly. That's the majority. Big up Jack, man. This is what I'm trying to say, and he's a Scouser as well. So do you know what I mean? He's from there. So big up, man.
Another thing, I had two Scousers that support Liverpool getting on to me about. I must have put a tweet out ages ago. As a London Liverpool fan, I don't care about Everton. I think you care about them more if you live in the city. It's more emotional.
100%.
Your next door neighbour, your workmate, your best friend's probably Evertonian. But for me, it's two reasons. Because I don't live there, and I don't even see them as rivals because they're nowhere near us. The only time you could say it was 04, 05, but I was young then. But because they're nowhere near us, I don't like when I look at the fixture list, I look at Chelsea United before I look at Everton. I probably look at a good 5 teams before I look at Everton. And then they were like, oh my God, you're not a proper red. Everton after United is our arch rival. I'm thinking to you because you probably see, and it means more, and I get that, but not to me.
Yeah, and that's more of a hereditary type of thing as well, because Everton haven't been good in ages. The last time they had any sort of like on-field success was when Roberto Martinez was there, man. That's like 10 years ago now.
And
even then, but that's when they were challenging, like they were in the top 4 for a bit, and they were doing something. Exactly. That's the in most recent time. That's the best Everton side I remember. So it's like, of course not. Like they don't have that same type of weight and pull that a United did, and especially for us Southerners and Londoners. Like Arsenal, the ones, Arsenal fans. I mean, United fans, Chelsea fans. Those are the ones that are in your ear all the time. So of course you're going to want to get one on them because they're the fans that go around.
Us three are sitting here. Listen, I would love as a Liverpool supporter to live right next to the stadium of the team that I would love it. Like I'm not sitting here saying, oh man, I hate the fact that I'm not. No, we would love to be in that position kind of thing. Being able to live so close to a stadium, being like feeling that kind of, you know what I'm saying, energy. As Rom said, when it comes to Everton, I promise you, I don't even look at that fixture twice in the fixture list. Like I barely even know it's even there because I'm more concerned with what's Chelsea saying, what's like Arsenal saying, what are these other teams? Because obviously teams that I speak to, I've got friends of all of those kind of teams. And at the end of the day, for me, they're more of a rival than an Everton because, as we said, Everton are pony kind of thing. If anything, blame Everton for being so crap.
Yeah.
Big up Jared as well. That's just entered the chat as well. So big up. Always
This is sarcasm, has to be. Yeah.
Top Reds are true fans, and their opinions are facts.
You're right, Jared.
That's the mantra. That's the mantra, man. Top Reds are true fans. Big up Abdus. He's saying, can't lie, Carvalho's got me gassed. I think he's got everyone gassed, to be fair. It is. To me, it does suggest a shift. Obviously, earlier I was trying to be a bit, down the middle. Jamrock saying, that's also when we saw the best of Genie when we played the counter-attacking. I think it's going back to what I was saying in terms of, our transitions and stuff. I think when breaking down the team, it's much more difficult. But having Genie on a counter-attack, that's when we saw the best. And we saw it even against Barca.
That's what I was going to say. Big up Jerry, because you alluded to it. Like, Treplin just said Genie literally disobeyed us and we prevailed. Do you know what I mean? So,
Cheetah saying Coutinho was elite. Fabio too young to tell, but talented. Yeah.
How old is he?
19.
Well, how old was Coutinho when he came?
21.
21, yeah.
And he was at Inter Milan as well. Fair enough. Yeah.
That's the only difference, right? Coutinho had that taste of Was he in their Champions League winning squad?
I don't know if he's in the squad, but I remember him playing against Spurs. When Spurs were in the Champions League.
Those players, but he was with those players. Eto was still there.
Yeah.
I fully remember seeing him at the White Hart Lane, and I'm thinking, right, who's this curly-head small guy? Like he was. And then after that,
Monks calls him Jericho Coutinho.
No, that's the old school. The streets will never forget Jerry Coutinho. You don't even know.
He had the little spots on his face as well.
Yeah,
it's that first.
He was just a twig. He was just a twig,
done, isn't it? When you cut inside and just thread the ball through to Sturridge, I believe. Yeah,
to Sturridge. Yes. That's my first thought. Oh, okay, yeah. This guy's a baller. Remember, guys, we've come from a place of, like I said before, Suso, Sterling, and Suarez were fully, and Coutinho, I think, was maybe in behind, were fully playing against Everton away. I remember the game, we drew 2-2, and we had that as a front line. Do you know how crazy that is of a front line? Look where we've come from, man. Look where we've come from.
I think Suso shouldn't have left, man. I think Brendan Rodgers made an error there, Made an error.
We had Luis Alberto as well.
The Welsh Messi. We're playing the Welsh Pirlo, innit? In midfield. We had Lambert. I think, yeah. Sam Markovic. That's why we Sam Markovic.
Oh, yes. Mr. Injury Prone.
Big up Razor. Razor saying Coutinho at 19 was better than Carvalho.
I love your picture, by the way, Razor.
Truth going mad. You could argue that because Coutinho at 19, to be fair, he was a Brazilian prodigy. He was. I remember there was even the ad with him and Neymar. So I
remember. The thing is, Champions League just does a world of good. You're going to big other hostile European grounds. That does a lot for your character. That's why we
want Bellingham, innit? That's why we want Bellingham, because of that experience in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? Boss in a pet midfield in the Champions League. I think that's why we want him. Big up Anfield Analytics. Big up Jack himself. He's in the building. Listen, we're going to be chopping up his. He's prepared like a spreadsheet for us, and just a whole PDF regarding Fabio Carvalho. So we will run through that very quickly before the end of the show. So big up Anfield Analytics saying maybe formation could change to a 4-2-3-1. Klopp played this at Dortmund exactly like we said. In possession, the formation was a 2-2-6 with the fullbacks pushing on. That could be an option to play Carvalho.
Yeah, I like this.
This is what
2-2-6 in that. I like that.
Yeah. You know what? It does make sense because you have to remember where Piszczek was, and 100% right back.
Then you've got 6. Okay.
2 centre backs. You know what I told you about the 3?
So how did it go?
About playing 3 at the back.
Yeah.
And I said that they'll make a box. I said Matip, Verge.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And Konate, and they'll make the box. That's essentially what they're doing. So you defend with the box, so allow play to go out wide and defend crosses into the box and then attack with the width. That's exactly 100%. That 100% could work. 100%.
Hey, Jack, man, you're too smart for your own good.
Yeah, man, too good. Boo Rider saying big up Reds, big up Boo Rider as always. Jared saying Klopp gives nobody a free roll. Where have you guys been? Yeah, well, that's what we're saying.
What we've been saying.
We hope. I think it's more hope than belief. But,
That's why a lot of the time, when we're linked with, let's say, a luxury silky player, it's like, oh yeah, we're linked with him. Oh, but does he do the work required that once? And then you just reduce into yourself straight away. that's literally what it is.
It's true.
We've seen it. Oh, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Jones even become like a right back, a left back, something like that,
or maybe defensive midfielder. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Oh, if he becomes a DM, that's horrible. That is horrible. That is horrible.
I can't see that.
Let's put it this way, yeah. I'm pretty sure Ginny, when he first came to the club, he wasn't sitting there thinking, yeah, man, I'm just going to stay at central midfield and be basically a central midfielder with no attacking responsibility and more defensive responsibility, considering he just came back off of a season where he was Newcastle's top goal scorer. Klopp stifles creativity in these teams, man. So I can see him just trying to stifle everyone else's. But it will work for the bigger picture, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Before that, Cheetah was saying that he doesn't think Origi wanted to leave. Apparently, the club accepted offers, but Klopp didn't want to push a player out. I don't know how true that is, but maybe so. Saying Klopp binned the Dortmund tactics the same way he doesn't like buying Dortmund players he coached. Yeah, he for him, this is it's like a game, innit? You know, when you play Football Manager, I've done my manager with Swansea. I want to try out Reading. I don't want to do, you know, when you've bought all the players that you know of, you don't want to go and buy the same players again for that new save. And I feel like Klopp is like that. Because he could have got Aubameyang from Dortmund way before Arsenal got him. He didn't want to get him. He could have got Goetze and that whole Goetze thing of, Goetze wasn't committed to the project. So he was like, no. He could have easily just told him, look, you're coming to play. We'll pay you some extra money. And you never know, man. But it's worked out well for us, I guess. It has worked out well. We still managed to go and find players. I think that's part of his greatness as a coach. So Dima saying, I know we don't see Klopp changing his formation to start, but to be fair, he does change formation in game. Now, that's true. He does. But tactically, it doesn't really change. I think we do see a lot of the spamming crosses. We do see a lot of Henderson getting that ball in the half space and just getting the ball back from, a cut back from Salah, and then he just puts in that first time ball. And it doesn't often work, to be fair. I'd like to know the percentage. It doesn't actually work.
Oh, you see when I see that, you know what, to be fair to him, about 3 out of 30 pulled off last season, because there was a few he got on the money, and then there was just, that's the thing, he gets it on the money and there's no one at the end of it. But more or less, that ball, that's probably my most frustrating ball from one of our players that in a game. It's
Guys, we're on 22 likes. Let's see if we can get to 30 before the show drops.
Smash them likes, please.
You guys, to be fair, views-wise, likes-wise, it's been crazy. Like the numbers we got, even the last tactics boards are hitting 400 views and stuff. So we're doing well. So please keep us up. I'm going to pick someone from the chat in a minute to be responsible for the like count, man. That's what I'm going to have to do, I think, because it worked last couple of streams. So John's not in it. I picked him last week, so we'll see who's been chosen. Yeah, who's been chosen. Yeah, John Paqueta. Jared saying, the season we won the Premier League, City dropped off because of injuries to all of their major players. Without that, I'm not sure we had enough. That's why our midfield
I agree.
That season.
I agree.
think that's a fair point.
That's actually, they have nothing.
Think of it like this, yeah. As he just said, our best season had to revolve around City having a bad season. We haven't seen City have a good season and we have a good season and come out on top.
And we're better. And although we've been really close, it's true. It's always been
we could be close, but
that's also our last season in the Prem.
Exactly.
Because they were there for the taking. No recognized number. Like you can say, they had one there growing in it playing, but they still had him. They had no recognized striker last season. And they had a slow start. City were there for the taking last season.
100%. I'm just saying, imagine Klopp makes Carvalho a defensive type of player. I think you throw Roms into a coma, bro.
That's what I was just about to say. I think I have a breakdown. Honestly,
imagine he changed Carvalho into like a Kante player, like a Portuguese Kante, just running about, winning the ball.
All I'm saying is we are gonna see a midfield of Jones, Elliot, and Carvalho. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Jack saying, spot on, lads. We need to be a bit more unpredictable in our play sometimes. That Spurs game sent me last year. Listen,
sent
that
me.
was the worst.
The latter one or the earlier one?
Probably the earlier
latter
one.
No, the latter one.
What was the latter one?
You
could argue both.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You could actually argue both.
Yeah, but the first one, it was like you said, the midfield of Morton, Naby, Milner. The second, the one later on in the season,
where we could have won the league. Okay, yes. Okay,
if we had won that, we win the league.
Yeah. That's so mad. That
game was horrible. It was with a Kane goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's mad. I just realized. I forgot about that.
It's true. Reno saying our midfield system is just as rigid as the one that made Isco irrelevant at Madrid. The difference is that Madrid players are way more technical and can control midfield rather than just pressing. Yeah.
I've been saying Zidane. I'm not going to say he ruined Isco, but he had a part to play.
He did, because Isco was a baller. I remember when Isco
at
came
Malaga
with Yaramendi. Remember they both came in a little package deal.
Yaramendi from Sociedad, you know.
Yeah,
that's another player we could have got, but yeah, I'll just rest.
He was our Javi Alonso supposed to be replacement.
Yeah.
He went Real Madrid and it just all fell away as well. But
Yaramendi, you know, Jesus.
That's what happens at Madrid sometimes. Yeah, Demo saying Jones shouldn't be compared to the other two. He's ahead by miles. Big gut.
Nah, I wouldn't say miles.
He's dropping that Jones when I can't against these two.
Not miles.
Remember, you see Matty the other day, G. Don't even put Carvalho in the same sentence as the other two. It's disrespect. That was just disrespectful. Yeah, that didn't actually mean that. I think he's better than the other two, but it's not disrespectful. Yeah, it was more tongue in cheek.
Yeah, Wino saying Elliot and Jones are creative-minded, but Carvalho is the only one that's actually a number 10. And what separates them is final third part.
Wino's goated, you know.
I don't know, but I think Elliot is. But from
what I've seen, it's Carvalho's timing. Like Elliot has the idea, but he doesn't really know how to perfect it all the time. His idea is right. You'll see what Elliot wants to do, but you haven't done it too early or too late. Carvalho's timing has been perfect, but again, it's in a different. We need to see him do that in a Liverpool shirt. That's the only con to Carvalho. These two, we've seen their mistakes and where they excel in a Liverpool shirt. We've not seen it with Carvalho yet. That's the only thing.
Yeah, let's go see. Mick Links Gamer saying Liverpool to win the Premier League next season. As a Chelsea, I assume that's fan. As a Chelsea fan, you got it. Listen, as the Chelsea, we're getting Chelsea fans now as well. Hey, big up, man. Big up.
Hey, big up Mick Links, the gamer.
How you know what? In the comment, if you're still here, let us know where do you think you're going to finish. What's going on at Chelsea, man? What the hell's going on? I'm hearing it's looking like a front three of Rafinha, Neymar, and Ronaldo.
I'm hearing Ronaldo today, though. Yeah, I heard about Ronaldo.
I've heard it a lot.
It's crazy.
Man United are in the mud. I just realized.
Jack's saying again as well, like, look, Everton away, Gucci, easy 3 points with them 3. That's true, you know. That's true. I think that does play. I mean, we do get our 3 points there, but to be fair though, that 3 points are making a difference. It's not that way. Those 3 points make the difference between us beating City so far. So there might be another team that comes up. If they're to get relegated, there might be another team that's a guaranteed 3, without the mad injuries like Richarlison challenges and the fiery nature of it. So Pickford and that challenge.
Oh my days. These kind of silly things. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Carvalho kind of integrates into this team. It's gonna be fun also to watch. But I genuinely believe if he wants to make a name for himself in this team, I can see him having to do probably some doggy work in that middle of the park just to get into the team. And then, like a Jones, basically, because Jones was the left winger. There weren't no central midfielder, but he had to kind of change it up his whole game because he isn't rapidly fast or anything like that. And then he got into the team a little bit. And now, as much as he's got his weaknesses, he's working on it. He's working on it kind of thing. And he's learning to become more disciplined in our midfield. That's the key, being disciplined in that midfield. If you cannot hack it, I promise you, you look so out of place. You look so out of place. That's why we get on to Naby Keita, because we're like, you should be able to hold it down in there, but you can't sometimes, or you just go missing in games. And I'm seeing third man runs off of you. Like, how does that work? Do you get what I mean? Like, so
that's true, man. That's true. Demo, you know what? You're laughing, yeah? You're having the time of your life. You've been in the chat the whole thing. I've nominated you in it. You're responsible for getting us 30 likes. We're on 23 at the moment, I see. So the rest is up to you, Demo, innit? If not, I'm coming for you.
Please, Demo. Let me get my phone.
Let's go. Cheeto saying, with defensive Tommy, is it really going to be easy against Chelsea? That's facts. I think one thing Tuchel knows what to do. He knows how to set us up against Liverpool. It doesn't matter who's playing. He'll set us up in a mad way. When you think about it, they've still got, Kante, Kovacic.
Klopp's only beat Tuchel 1 in 5, innit?
Yeah.
In fact,
to my
no,
knowledge, yeah.
I don't think he's even beat
penalties.
Tuchel domestically.
And last season, it all went on penalties, innit? In both finals.
In a 90 minutes, because I was even thinking of the early game 2 seasons ago where Christensen brought down Mane.
Oh, I remember.
I think that was Lampard. I don't think Klopp's beat Tuchel in the Premier League. You know, I'm trying to think of.
I don't think he has. I remember there was a stat that was coming out that some Chelsea fans were saying.
What happened in the first game?
Midfielder. I mean, the best manager in the
Mount
league.
scored.
He had, at the time, he hadn't lost to Pep. He hadn't lost to Klopp, and he hadn't lost to Conte, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it was that.
Some managers will just have your number though. It's one of them ones where
like you don't want it to be
Mourinho versus Wenger. Like Wenger could never be that guy.
Yeah, he just didn't want it to be top 4 though. That's where it just becomes a bit. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind if to be fair, you don't want any manager to, but when it's the top 4, those points do matter a bit more, especially if you're, do you know what I mean? Let's say you're 2 points in front of Chelsea, come like 10 games to go and you're facing them. You don't want that manager to have your number. So
yeah, it's true.
Big up Phoenix in the chat. Phoenix is saying, I was at the Arsenal game in there. And
Phoenix, link me next time, man. We talk. Don't worry. Link me next time. We go there. We go.
Yeah, we go. Man.
You think Arsenal fans are anything to worry about? Don't worry about them.
Yeah. Trudon. Big up Trudon in the cup, man. Big up Trudon. So he's saying, shutting people up with that first game reply is sweet, though. Mine was Spurs away in 1996. Now, it's true. It's true, 100%. But... To the fans that haven't been to Anfield as much, there's loads of fans that are diehard fans. Do you know what I mean? In Africa,
100%.
Are so far away that are probably putting in more shifts. And when they go into games, they're having to go and spend 5, 10, 20,000.
A lot of money.
Do you know what I mean? Get the right. Do you know what I mean? Get the ticket. Get the flight over. Miss work. Do you know what I mean? Then the ticket they're getting has to be a hospitality because you know the rest of the tickets are all sold out.
Exactly.
That's why for a hospitality game, and the game will be just like a dead rubber game, like Preston versus Liverpool.
That's why
and they're going to the game and they're having the time of their life, and they're still.
That's why I got to big up Big Z, bro, because he was getting stick for getting all these
crazy stick,
but then he's giving them out to free fans, and the same Liverpool fans that want to sell that are seen ticket holders and have tickets want to extort you. So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He was getting mad stick for this whole ticket thing. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, big up Big Zoo, man. Big up Big Zoo as well. You know what? I'm gonna try get him on the. I'm gonna try get him on the show.
100%, man. There's a few of them. Like there's a few. You gotta get Young in. There's a couple.
Because Big Zoo, he's only like one person removed from myself, so I can definitely see if I can sort that out. But yeah, make sure TNT. Look, if you guys want someone like Big Zoo to come on, we need the subs and the likes and the views to come up in it. Once we start hitting 1K, I can do that. We can do that comfortably. There's loads of things we can do. Jack saying exactly, Liverpool wouldn't be the club it is at all without all the fans globally. Exactly. That's coming from a real scouser, so big up. Big up. There we go. Look, just to quickly say, look, Jared's hopped on. You know what, Jared and Demo, you're responsible for getting us to 30 at least before the end of the show because I'm about to move on to the... Let's get it up, man. The Fabio Carvalho player profile by Anfield Analytics. So let's go. I'm going to run through the slide proper quick because it's proper in depth. But G, you've had a look at this, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can run through us. You can run through this with us. So obviously talking about Carvalho, obviously at Fulham, he played in a 4-2-3-1. So obviously from Jax from Anfield Analytics, is analysis. They're saying that with Nunes, with the signing of Nunes, this could be a sign of a change of formation for Liverpool. So as we were literally discussing, so obviously we're singing, all of us are singing from the same hymn sheet. So yeah, he's obviously managed 12 goals and 8 assists in the season, whilst also being included in PFA Team of the Year. Interesting. I didn't know he was included in the team. You know, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I see
Did
that.
he win Young Player of the Year in the Championship as well?
Something's telling me no. I feel like it was.
I saw this the other day. I think it was
Yeah.
Brennan. I think it was Brennan.
From Nottingham.
I'm not 100%, but I think it was Brennan. From
Yeah, I don't. It wasn't Carvalho. I don't think it
Yeah.
was Carvalho.
I'm
Carvalho.
surprised no one's gone in for him. You know that Brennan. He's actually decent from what I've seen. He's decent.
No, but heritage in it. His dad being a Forest guy probably said stay there for 1 year, then probably get
in
your
the
move.
Prem. Yeah,
They're in the Premier League now, anyway. So
Exactly. So he probably won't even want to move.
yeah, 100%. He getting game time this season.
It's crazy. 2002. Jesus, man.
Yeah, and I saw that as well, and I said, right, you're young. You're super young.
All right, so Fabio Carvalho, let's just look at this. His ranking here versus England Championship midfielders. He's getting 100% more touches than the rest of the England Championship midfielders in the box per 90. Sorry, his XG is up by 99%. His key passes up by 97%. His goals per 90 were 97%. The fouls suffered were 95%, which means he's winning a lot of fouls.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fouls. Which is, to be fair, surprising me because obviously I haven't watched him play. So Roms is just echoing what you're saying. Like he just, in terms of an offense,
he's kind of obviously not as good before people clip me up, but he's kind of like that Hazard-esque. He likes the ball and he likes to draw players in. That's the only one. Whenever I hear that though, draws a lot of fouls. It's got its pros and cons because the pros is we'll have set piece. We don't even have a set piece taker, but we'll get set pieces and etc. However, it increases the risk of injury, bro. That's the only reason why that stat to me when I'm seeing the Zahars, the Grealish. Yeah, you're committing a lot of fouls, but then you're injured quite a lot. Well, not Jack Grealish this season, but Zaha's quite injury prone. That's the only worry for me. But
Wilshere as well. Wilshere's the one that done that all the time. And
exactly.
I remember everyone, because everyone used to go and say, like, all my coaches, everything when I was young would say he's going to get injured a lot because the way he played, he was drawing so many men onto him and riding challenges. Instead of just popping the ball off and moving, he was drawing man on and trying to get man on the Cruyff turn and then use his body like, do you know what I mean? And then you saw
he trusted his ability too much. That was the problem.
Yeah, and but it was effective though because what he was doing. Do you know who else done that really well though, but never got injured was Zidane.
Yes.
That when the ball's coming to him, he wanted to feel the brother.
Listen,
turn him and turn, and it's similar. But obviously Zidane's
I was gonna say big guy, strong like.
You know another player,
stocky, and do you know what I mean.
Another player, I don't know about you two, but I've never had this conversation with you two, but my goat being Messi, that's why he's just so great as well because he probably does it the most. The amount of fouls he's committed in the last 15, 16 years, and he's rarely ever in. I've never known Messi to be out more than a month or two. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And I think with Hazard, you're seeing it. He's just breaking down now, isn't it?
He takes his toll.
Yeah, he does, man. Just riding challenges like that. Even Dembele, you know Dembele from Tottenham, another player that does that as well.
Musa.
Yes.
One of my favorite ever Premier League players.
But you saw it. He'd get injured all the time. His injury record weren't great. But I remember seeing him live against.
Right now, currently, Wilfred Zaha is the prime example. He gets at least 3-4 injuries per season.
Yeah.
I think you can see like we're obviously running through the stats and stuff like that. I'm also looking at it now on my phone, but it's like this guy's in the top like 98 percentile for like half of these things, if not more than a half of these things. Like these are good statistics. Obviously, stats is not everything. Sometimes you do need a little piece of an eye test to kind of confirm where you think the player is at in terms of ability. But guys, if you guys needed more of a clue, you can see it here, right here. Like he's in, like I said, he's in the top for everything from touches in the box per 90 all the way down to what I say is assists per 90. He's in the top 90 percentile this is talking about the whole league, you know. This ain't just talking about just for Fulham. This is the whole championship.
And it's all players that have played more than 1,000 minutes as well.
Exactly.
So we're talking about players that play regular football.
Exactly.
To be fair, one thing that's really, I don't know, it's giving me hope that he's not going to play in the midfield. Not hope, but he has to play as a 10 or as a winger, because look at his defensive stats. They're really down. To go and play in the midfield for Klopp, I'm pretty sure, you know what, I'm going to try to get up if we can get Jones as an Elliott, but I'm pretty sure those are way higher. Way higher.
That'd be interesting, actually, to compare the three of them.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it and like, look, I mean, aerial duels, of course, is not winning anything. But successful defensive actions per 90 is 12%. And you wanted to go and play him in a midfield three of Jones, Elliott, and Carvalho.
That's why he'll be in that
front. Right there's WG. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Listen, hear what I'm saying to you. No one sat here and thought that Jones was going to be playing central midfield. Nobody thought Harvey Elliott was going to start last season right central midfield. I know nobody thought that. So you never know, bro. You just never. I'm just saying, just wait on it. That's all I'm saying. Just wait on it. That's it.
We'll move on. So that's just quite cool. So obviously we're ranking him now. Jack's done all the groundwork. So again, big up Jack. Everyone in the chat as well. Everyone watching this on a replay, whatever it is, just make sure
you smash them likes.
Yeah, make sure we smash them likes. Make sure we follow Anfield Analytics as well. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on Twitter, because he's given us loads and loads and loads of, do you know what I mean? Good kind of content. And without this, now we wouldn't be able to go in depth. This takes a lot of work. So thank you so much, Jack, for this. So as we're looking now, look, he got, like, this is just comparing him to our midfielders, yeah?
I just see it.
And bar Oxlade-Chamberlain with the shots, which is obviously bottom left, and Oxlade-Chamberlain's ranking at 2.47, obviously, shots per game. That's what he's averaging in all comps. Fabio Carvalho is right behind him in 2.3. And then we're looking, and he's got more goals. And look, Carvalho's got more goals.
Look at the last paragraph, the bullet points underneath. Look at that paragraph. That paragraph tells you why he needs to be playing in a number 10 role. Look at that. Look at that second bullet point.
Yeah, that's crazy. He scored 12 goals in all comps last season versus 13 from our current midfielders, excluding
all of our midfielders together. You know,
that's crazy.
12 goals.
He's got the goal scoring gene.
Yes.
And you know what I love about him, right? What Gini did in that semi-final against Barca, he will disobey Klopp. He will. Even if he tells him to do certain things, he's going to have that thing in his ear like, no, let me take this shot, even if Klopp probably wants me to recycle this. And I'm telling you, 1 out of them 5 or 6 shots will go in, and then you'll just send the Klopp wild, bro.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't lose that. I hope he doesn't lose that, because I don't want to see what happens with. I mean, like, even I'm scared about Diaz as well. Because, you know, there was reports that when he's coming to the club in January, Klopp just said, play your thing, innit? Don't worry about tactics. Don't worry about anything. Just come back, help us defend, and just do your thing on obviously attacking-wise. I don't want to see him just always doing his out-to-in runs and all that type of stuff and replicating what Mane is doing, because they're two separate different types of players. I don't want to go and see a replacement for Mane. I just want Diaz to be the best that he can be. But as we're seeing now, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, his goals per 90, his XG as well is at 0.35, which Oxlade-Chamberlain's XG is actually the highest of all our midfielders, and he don't even play.
Does that not scream something to you that we need a midfielder, guys? Does that not scream something to you that we need someone in that position?
All them breaders on Twitter, all the top reds. I feel like screenshots and sending this to them, you know.
They needed to watch this live right here. They needed to see this.
I hate, innit?
Very true. Very true. Very true.
All right, we're looking at in terms of creativity now. Now, look, assists. He's got more than everyone. And look, we're talking about Hendo, Thiago, Jones. To be fair, that's scaring me. In all competitions, Thiago only got 5 assists.
Because
Jones,
you know what?
4.
Thiago,
4, and they play in the same position.
Thiago, what they like, this is what I've been told. Thiago is the second assist. I'm sorry, he's the assist
Yeah.
before the assist.
Yeah,
He's the pre-assist.
He's the pre-assist. That's what I hear. Is that we're not going to see Thiago doing up double digits for assists because he's the guy giving the ball to the other guy. Take from that what you will, but I'm only seeing 5 assists.
Henderson's got 7 though. Henderson's not the guy giving the assist. It's been Salah and Trent and Robbo. So how's Henderson having more than him?
Listen, I'm just telling you what I've been told, man. I don't believe it.
What I've been told, you know, this is mad.
But you know what's crazy? I heard this on Sky Sports. Jamie Carragher. This is when Thiago first came in. They were doing like an analytic, like after his first few games, everyone was like, "Oh my god, like Thiago is so sick," blah blah blah. And then they'll start talking about him, and they were talking about what he was doing at Bayern, and they were like, "He's the assist before the assist," which is why he can play in Klopp's role and all these kind of things. And then he started getting injured and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, the assist before the assist. I said, bro, I'm trying to see you make an assist, man. I don't care about your assist before the assist. Leave that for someone else.
No, no, it's true, because when you think about it, I don't mind that. Although that obviously it does help. But if he's doing that and he's giving it to whoever and then just fluffing their lines, it doesn't matter. It just breaks down.
Very
it
true.
just breaks
Very
down.
true.
That's why you need obviously a Fabio Carvalho or whoever or someone else to get those assists, which obviously we relied on a lot of. Obviously, we relied on Trent.
The one that interests me, where it says passes to the penalty area per 90, that makes me proud that he's bottom of the metric because it shows me he just wants to shoot. He just wants to shoot on sight.
He wants to get when he's in the box. He's trying to get goals. He's trying to affect the game. Yeah, and I think that's seeing a good way to look at it. Naby Keita, apart from Naby Keita and you're seeing Jones there again, and Thiago. It's them, and that's it. And when we look at it, we always talk about them being our most creative options. When we speak about midfield, those are our most creative options. So 100%, man.
It's Klopp, man. He stifles that creativity. It's not their fault, really, when you think about it, because them men are creative. It's not like we haven't seen Naby Keita creative. It's not like we haven't seen Jones creative as well. I just think it gets stifled a little bit.
Yeah. All right. This is going to surprise everyone now. And I think Demo is going to love this. Demo's going to love it. Who's top of every single metric? That's Curtis Jones.
Yeah, see, don't even show this to Ash, you know. Don't even show this to Ash.
Listen, I'm going to have to highlight it to Ash from Klopp Zone because we're looking now and pass accuracy, 92%. Offensive duels, 52% ahead of Thiago. And we know how good Thiago is in offensive duels. One-on-one, he's beating his man more times than not. Progressive runs, 3.5%.
Okay, I can believe that, though. I can believe that.
Way ahead of Naby, way ahead of Thiago, everyone. Dribbles per 90, 4 dribbles per 90. Him and Carvalho, to be fair, are doing the same. They're doing them at the same. So we know what type of midfielder Carvalho is. Successful dribbles per 90 is 71%.
That's mad.
That's ridiculous.
That's mad.
It's ridiculous in midfield to be able to do that. He's not playing out wide. He's not playing as a fullback. It's in midfield.
I remember Steve Jones. I remember he had 3 men round him. It was reminiscent of, remember Joe Cole's goal against United one year where he sent Rio's shot and he shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Jones did that in the Southampton game. Do you remember when he had 3 men round him, and he went through, I thought, I knew this, but I was thinking, you're actually very techie. And it got me mad that you shouldn't be playing this industrial way. Klopp needs to give you license.
Yeah. And you're seeing it, that look, even in this industrial setup, he's still there getting the numbers.
Yeah.
When we're looking at Carvalho anyway, Carvalho there, he's averaging, his accuracy isn't the best. So we know this just suggests to me again that he's not going to be that guy in a centre. He can't play in centre mid. I think Jack's alluded to it here by saying with Carvalho playing in a number 10 role, his touches in the box and dribbles per 90 are quite high in comparison to our current squad.
But remember, as he just said there, he playing number 10. We don't have a number 10. So we wouldn't have that. We won't have someone with that many touches in the box anyway. We would have had to compare it with if we played the same way, if that makes sense. There's a flip side to it, let's just say. Not to say that that's wrong or anything like that. It's just, it's hard because we don't have a number 10. If we did, then maybe. Maybe.
Yeah,
but it's still embarrassing regardless.
To be fair, when I'm looking at it though, you're seeing it that he's not the possession type of guy, though. Regardless, from how he's played, from his experience, he can't be. He's not going to be a Thiago, a Jones. Do you know what I mean? Because we're looking at it and we're seeing, in terms of who's controlling games, it's mad. But you're looking at Naby, Jones, Thiago, Keita, Hendo. It's those four. It's those four. So I do feel this suggests that he's obviously going to play further down, like further up the pitch, sorry, or out wide, in my opinion. So
come on, Klopp, man, surprise me. First game of the season. Let me see a 4-2-3-1.
Obviously, these are just his goals, but like we said, we're seeing everything's more or less in and around the box. It just suggests to me again he's going to be playing out wide. If you look at our forwards, they all get into the box. They don't really hug the touchline.
Very true.
Don't hug the touchline. So
82 shots of 60 inside the 18. 73% of his shots are inside the 18-yard box. 39 shots on target. We're looking here. Let's move on to this one. I'm going to skip through this one as quickly as possible.
What that shows me, though, he's not really confident from shooting from range.
I was just about to say that as well.
Yeah. So maybe he's not as Coutinho-esque as you were saying, Roms.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not. Look, Roms is hurting now.
I just don't want no slander on his name this year, man. But no, you're right. Yeah.
Hey, 133 likes. I just seen it now.
Oh, listen, we've done it. Look.
Big up, Demo.
Listen, there we go. Big up, Jared. Big up, Demo. There. Big up. Appreciate it a lot. Appreciate it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's even get to 35, man. Come on. We can get two more peeps.
Yes, when we get to 35, that's crazy. We've got to remember that Kopish is streaming at the moment. Jamie Phillips is streaming at the moment. And we still got
Big
that
Six,
amount of likes.
I think Monts is streaming now as well. I'm sure he is.
Oh, exactly. Like, this is, do you know what I mean? We're competing against the big boys. We're essentially that front three. Watkins, Ings, and Bailey out here, man.
All right, so who am I then? Because I'm trying to run through that one.
You look like an Ings still. You got that Ings about you.
You know what? I don't mind. Ings has got that kind of hippie kind of look. I don't mind it.
Yeah, man. Let's go. Yeah, so as we said there, big up obviously Jack for that. Obviously, we just ran through that as quickly as possible. If you want to see more of that, just check him out on his socials, because he's got that all up on his stories, on his Twitter feed. So that's great. But as we're seeing, he's just very, very progressive. In an attacking sense, he's everything you'd want from a number 10, from everything going forward, and especially at that young age. You expect those figures just to get big up, to improve. So we've got to big up everyone. Before we head out, though, I'm just going to run through loads of these chats because we've literally missed out a lot.
I'm just going to put my phone on charge real quick.
Yeah. Jared saying, age of mid compared to Arsenal. Brexit midfield of Hendo, 32, Milner, 37.
Brexit midfield, yeah.
Jesus, man. Milner, 37, Ox, 29, Curtis, 21, Elliot, 19, Keita, 27, Thiago, 31, versus Vieira, 22, Smith Rowe, 21, Odegaard, 23, Lokonga, 22, Elneny, 29, Jack, 29, and Partey, 29. It is mad.
So you might want to take Partey out of that one, boy. Yeah, we're not even going to do that. Anyways, that midfield is a bit crazy. Brexit midfield, I do get that. I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
I do feel you on that one.
Wiener saying Henderson has to work on that first time cross. It doesn't make sense that he does it all the time and he isn't great at it yet. No, but do you know what it is? I think that's Klopp's telling him to do that. Because I've seen Milner do this.
But why though?
Position.
I don't get, especially when we're not blessed with height as well.
Exactly.
It would make sense to do that now with Núñez. I can kind of hear it now. Just perfect it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I've seen everyone do it. Even when Trent started coming more kind of inside channels, the same thing. It's that first time ball. The only
thing I can think of, because look, Jota's your modern day Tim Cahill, like. He's short, but he's a good header of the ball. So maybe Klopp's is saying put it in there and Jota will score.
Yeah, man, 100%. Promo in the building. Big up, Promo.
Big up,
man. Switching between this and Kopish currently. leave a like, people. Appreciate it, promo. Listen, that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, we're doing bits compared to, do you know what I mean? There's Coppish running up, do you know what I mean? These are the big boys, and we're
Big up the guys at
all
Coppish
these
as well.
people
Though.
from them. This is
Yeah,
massive.
big up, Callum Drift and
Yeah,
Mm.
big up.
During the
Happy
lockdown,
birthday
I was
to
watching
as well.
it.
It's Drift's birthday today. So
Yeah.
everyone that
Oh,
didn't
happy
know,
B-Day, Drift.
yeah,
yeah,
big
happy
up,
birthday,
man.
man. Yeah, Jared, you guys have done your thing. Big up Sean in the cut.
Big up, Sean.
He's
Sean,
Mr.
he's sending me
Info.
info. You're right, Jerry.
Yeah.
I've been following each other recently on Insta. He's sending me info every day. Big up, man.
Listen, the first time any info drops, it's Sean with it. Boom, 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 dropping it as well.
Big up.
Oh,
Sean.
guys, as well. Go on.
No, I was gonna say just before we leave, I'm gonna ask you both a question. Just one word answer. That is it. No explanation. Will we sign Jude Bellingham this summer? Yes or no?
No.
Cool. That's all I need to know.
No. If we do sign him, though, you guys can get me, and this will obviously be me.
Would have been able to eat.
Oh, big up Marlon, man. Big up Marlon.
Okay. Will we sign him at any point? Do you think?
No.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
The way I see it, we don't sign him now. If we don't sign him summer, yeah, we're not. Not
Damn.
there. Oh, it's now or never.
Yeah, it's true,
Okay.
man. Yeah, big up Eden in the cut as well, my guy. Big up Eden.
That even journalist thinks that he's saying, "Oh, I have to prove you lot wrong again." That he's your player this summer. I'm just like, oh, cool, because he leaked the Salah thing early. Everyone thinks he's this Messiah now, but
He ain't no Messiah, man. Don't
exactly. Let's just wait. And see.
Do what it is. All that happens though is that you see what people do. You know, they just start spewing nonsense, and then when it happens, do you know what I mean, you're gonna bang once, innit? If you keep trying something, one time you're gonna get it, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you were right." Like there's a certain people just, do you know what I mean, running these agendas.
Just comments are on him. They said if that Dan Jummer and someone else isn't a Liverpool player,
It was Sal Niguez.
yeah,
It was him.
they were on him in the comments. I'll delete my Twitter now. After he said, I guess I'm gonna have to prove Liverpool fans wrong. Everyone was just putting that tweet up.
Yeah, it was
everywhere.
I felt sorry for him because I was like, bro, this is why so-called guys in the know, and I hate that IT that thing. Like people always say they're in the know, and I'm like, yo, like I promise you right now, nobody is in the know when it comes to Liverpool. Maybe some other clubs I can get it. When it comes to Liverpool, no one. I'm talking James Pearce, Neil Jones, Paul Joyce. They're never actually in the know because Liverpool are so tight-lipped with the stuff that they even put out. What they get is maybe the first, second-hand information. That's what they're getting. And because they're official, we'll see it from them. Obviously, they're all verified and stuff. And that's not to discredit any of these reporters, because I know that they do their stuff and blah, blah, blah. But people need to just take it with a pinch of salt, man. Don't listen to everything that you read just because the person is verified. David Ornstein is one of a few people who gets it right. He's one of my favorite ones because he only. I was
just about to say that he kind of gets it nailed on, and he only really reports if it's concrete.
Exactly. He's. You know what? I was watching Daps just to quickly go. I was watching Daps on Never a Foul on their channel, and even he was saying the same thing. He's like, yeah, the way that David Ornstein sits on bare information, because there's no point just spewing it out. If it's wrong, then it just looks stupid.
No, David Ornstein. I'm not gonna lie. He's one that he's always on point.
Mm-hmm.
He's always on point. He's always on point. And yeah, he might not get all the juice to you, but you know, if it's coming from his mouth, it might as well be coming from Sky Sports.
100%.
Yeah.
Why do you think Sky Sports
always get things late?
Like
they get things 24-hour late most times.
Yeah.
No, I think someone was telling me about Sky Sports because they're a broadcasting channel. They also can't just put out necessarily rumors. They have to fully have like confirmation
evidence, innit?
Yeah. Didn't you see the thing today when they put out I can't remember what the news was, and they put it up on Twitter, and then they had to put in a separate tweet correction. David Ornstein broke the initial story. I was like, you see how you're getting embarrassed like this? Big Sky Sports, you know.
Yeah, Sky Sports are losing everything at the moment, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're just It's a complete mess. Big up the little bro, man. Listen, guys, like he had a mad, like it's my little brother, but he had a mad
Big up
tournament
Nathaniel.
he had a mad tournament literally on the weekend. They got the literally like quarters. They done proper well, man. I'm telling you, he's playing against big players. He's young. He's only 7. He's playing 2 years above his age group. So big up, man.
Big up.
Big up.
What position is he?
He's playing at the back.
What, a full back, centre back?
They play 7 aside, innit? So they play like 2 at the back, and then but he's like full back at the back as well. But he's playing like above his age group, innit? And he's playing at the back, so he's doing well, man. He's doing well.
So the next Trent.
Yeah, we'll see, innit? We'll see. To be fair,
Hey JJ, you gotta put that work in, man.
Yeah, man. That's me and his dad doing it, man. So big up. Yeah. Boo Rider saying switching between Coppish and the JJ show. Bless up everyone. Listen, I appreciate it all, man. I appreciate it all.
Much love and respect.
Demo saying 35 likes.
Big up, man.
That's ridiculous, man. Big up. We're gonna just run through the last couple comments. Jared saying, Curtis, I feel we hindered his progress alone last season at a Brighton or Crystal Palace would have given him so much game time to see if he can cut it. Look, me personally, I don't think it's a case of him not cutting it. I think he just needs to play more. And I've said it before. If you're not going to play him like Arsenal do, where it's just you're playing, or like how Mason Mount did, do you know what I mean? When Lampard was there, and you're playing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row, you might as well not be at the club. Because you're just wasting. You're rotting. You're rotting on the bench.
100%.
You're rotting.
Yeah, no.
I'm saying Partey's 40 African passport tax. I don't think Partey's got a passport at the moment. You know, that's what I'm hearing.
Let's put it to you this way, yeah. Obviously, I'm Ghanaian, yeah. Well, there you go. He's taboo right now, so let's just move.
Listen, do you know what's mad? I was speaking to what's it called? One of my family friends at a tournament, and we're talking about Ghana. You know, Ghana, just off topic, they're the worst, they're the lowest ranked club in the World Cup.
Is it?
Yeah, we're ranked lower than Qatar, bro.
No way, we're ranked lower than Qatar.
I'm being serious.
I'll tell you something though. I think weirdly, you man got
to do my Googles, bro.
You man got the group of death in it, but I think weirdly you qualify. I don't know what it is. I just think you're gonna.
No, our team is garbage though.
But we've got what's his name? I swear we're bringing in a couple of the English guys now.
Well, it's not been confirmed yet. We're relying on Eddie and Ketia.
Hey, look, Jerry, we're relying on better players than what we had currently at that AFCON.
No, I can't lie. Lamptey and Hudson Odoi will be too big additions. No. I rate Kudus and Afina Gian. One of my good friends are gone in, so I know a bit about your.
Yeah, look at that. Hey, Rob's is coming with the names. He's got them. Yeah. All right. You know what? Listen, you know what? I'm going to be doing watch-alongs. I'm going to be in Ghana watch-alongs. So.
Yeah. I'm jumping on.
Ghanaian. We got. Do you know what I mean? We got Saints Ghanaian as well.
Come on.
There's a contingent of you.
There's a contingency, bro.
Yeah, man.
I wish my country.
Oh my god, we're actually playing 60th, and Qatar are 49th. How the hell? That is mad. That is mad. That is mad.
Check it. He didn't believe you, man. He didn't.
Nah, I didn't. I can't even front. I fully didn't believe you, bro.
Yeah.
Not Qatar.
Our window is shut, boys. Maybe someone in Jan. Depends how the season goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
One thing I will say, we when this is one thing I'm going to give credit to our club. If we need to make that Jan signing, we will. That's one thing.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Well, that is one thing I have to give to our club.
Nah, it's true. I have to give it to you. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Last one of the day before we head out. Psychedelic saying, and big up obviously Psychedelic for tuning in as well. He's a regular. Appreciate it a lot.
I like the name.
Good up, you guys. Great show. Enjoyed it a lot and keep putting that work in. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not even work. That's the thing about it. And I think that's what the channel's about, is that when I'm not going to lie.
We're basically doing on screen what we do off screen. Just
that's what I'm saying. And it's organic. It's real. Then we were doing. It's the same thing. And look, if this channel just stays the way it is, I'm so happy because this is just therapeutic. I get to chat with this community, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Literally a Liverpool community that are just real. They're going to be honest. They're going to give their opinions. Do you know what I mean? None of this true, like top red, true red nonsense.
You know what I love? You know I love streaming as well. Yeah. You see, we've got our group chat where we'll put thoughts and opinions. But you can't see expressions. You see at us three, how many times have we laughed at each other? I'll look at Rom's face, I'll look at Jay. It's just better. You get to see body language as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but before we head out, man, obviously, you got anything else to say to the people? Roms, G, what's going on? When can they catch you at next? I know you guys got a lot of streams coming up, a lot of content.
Tonight, actually, but tonight's not Liverpool focus. You catch me on Saint LFC TV. It's more transfer roundup. Like a lot of things this week. Gabriel Jesus, Leonardo Martinez, where's he gonna go? The Ronaldo thing, but it's not really LFC focused. It'll be more just transfer.
Yeah,
what time are you on?
Guys, you know what to do in it. Make sure to catch
10:15.
What's
10:15. Say no more. Catch me in the comments.
What about G, man? I know you've been dropping a lot. Your TikTok's blowing up. He's a TikTok sensation.
G, let me stop you there. Before anyone does anything, make sure you go and watch G's live about Salah, bro, because it was insane.
Yeah,
I have to put that in there.
100%. I had to watch it. Literally, I was in the gym. I just had to watch it like afterwards, straight away, man.
Nah, I love it.
But G, where can they catch you, man? Where can they find you? Where can they find the controversial?
It's all in my you know, like that. It's all in G keeping it G. Everything, man. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. But with TikTok, I like to keep it nice, short, and sweet. And I feel like we get to the point with the 3-minute like short videos. Yeah. So I love putting them out more than I probably do Instagram because it's short, sweet, and concise. We just get straight to the point over there, man. So guys, follow me everywhere. Follow me. You're gonna see me on the Jerry James quite a lot this season. This channel is going to blow like there's no man's business. I promise you that. So you're going to catch me there on the channel with these two, just chopping it up for the rest of the season, man. So let's go. Let's go.
Let's go, man. Listen, guys, everyone in the chat, panel, first of all, G, Roms, appreciate you guys obviously joining me on this
Thanks
season.
for having me, man. Every time.
And you, listen, Roms, do you know what we need to do? I'm going to make sure, send me a selfie. I'm going to try sort out an emoji for you, innit?
Oh, yeah, he needs one. Yeah,
I need one. Yeah.
You need to slap it on the thing. I mean, we need to put you on the thumbnail because I mean, it's getting a bit all higgy, but yeah, make sure, send that over to me because we're going to do that. Obviously, guys, I appreciate you obviously joining me. I had to get Roms involved because obviously Roms was, he's speaking about Mr. The Truth, our number 28, Fabio Carvalho. So appreciate a lot. Obviously, G as well. Appreciate a lot having you in obviously on board. Every tactical
love, man.
Like you bring a lot of knowledge. I mean, insight. So I appreciate, and obviously that small thing that you do on not small thing, but the small little clips you do on TikTok to obviously expand on them here. Yeah, man, I appreciate it a lot.
Nah, I love and appreciate that, man. Love and appreciate that, bro.
Everyone in the chat as well, appreciate it so much. Everyone, Blue Rider, there's so many psychedelic, Demo that was in there. We know promo. Everyone that's moving from Copish over. Switching over, appreciate it because I've just seen we're on 36 likes at the moment. It's looking like we're almost on 180. I think we're on 178 subscribers, so we've gained some subs as well. Yeah, Jared as well. Appreciate it so much.
Yeah,
man. Make sure to obviously catch us up on our socials on Twitter. We will be doing a show in the week. I'm not sure yet, so just stay tuned for that. But that one, I think, is it's either going to be a kind of generic one in terms of how the transfer window has gone so far for each team. I'm going to get some special guests for that. So like, we'll see who I can get on from different clubs, or it will be the player comparison. So, you know, there are some players to obviously put down. So I know there's like Musa Diaby, Bowen, Danjuma, all these players. I'm going to try to do that comparison, see if Jack can sort us out for that. But
100%.
Yeah, man, appreciate it a lot. Stay blessed. Obviously, it's been the Jerry James Show, and we're out, people. Peace.